Explorers just stumbled upon something that shouldn't exist deep beneath the mountains
What could
of the
that
border
be, my
of Greece
friend?
and Albania. A colony of 110,000 spiders living together inside of a single sprawling web the size of a small apartment block. The web stretches across more than 100 square meters inside what's now called Sulfur Cave.
Wow.
Scientists discovered that the cave's stream is rich in sulfur, and tiny microbes feed on it. A lot of them. Then these tiny midges feed on those microbes, and the spiders feed on the midges. An entire ecosystem disproportionately favouring the spiders, causing the population to boom out of control. And even stranger, these two breeds of spiders, Tegenaria domestica and Praenerogone vagans, they're both normally solitary spiders. They don't share space together, let alone build a super colony together with other species. So why are they cooperating here? No one really knows. Genetic tests also show that they've already started to adapt, forming a unique population unlike any above ground. Each strand of silk glistens when the moisture is introduced, forming a ghostly city of webbing that shimmers under flashlight.
These animals are intelligent, my friends.
Recorded,
this is
and a
just
haunting
beautiful.
reminder that life
Creations
always
of God
finds a
are
way.
amazing. What's wrong here? Is this normal car? Is this normal? People with cars, please. What's wrong? I think that sound is the issue in the video. Son, I'm not sure what's going on here. Please help us understand for the people with the cars. Is that something normal or is that something weird or strange? Wow.
Every time fucking rains, my car does.
You are called
Anybody
my
else?
sister.
My door literally.
Is this normal for cars or maybe your car needs an umbrella? Get a big umbrella for your car. Wow. Look at this.
I have a 2022 RAV4, Toyota RAV4 hybrid, and this is ridiculous. And then, like, it doesn't even open, so I have to like
Wow.
the door.
Hey, maybe you are called
So that's
sister.
that.
Wow.
Like, there's so
And it's a
much
new
water.
car.
There's so much water in here. This is like insane. Does anybody else have this issue? It's like this is a new.
Even if I don't know about cars, I don't think this is normal. To the people with cars,
None of my other doors do it.
does it happen like this?
Left driver's side back door. So, any tips or tricks or, advice, help a sister out.
Just buy an umbrella for your car, sister. And, or here our viewers
This
comment.
one guy demonstrates how magnets can allow people to control you.
Watch me use a magnet to switch off the speaking parts of my brain. So this is me speaking normally. Hi, my name is Jacob. Now watch when I stimulate the speaking parts of my brain, the magnet. Hello, my name is Jacob. And I can't speak very well, but now I can speak fine because the magnet is switched off.
If they could do that with just magnets, imagine what else they could do. And that's just simple
Looks like a
technology.
fake, that one. I don't think that's the magnet doing that. Our brother, they are practice.
Look at that. Wow. Take me. Take me now.
Brother, what's up?
Whoa.
Those are just
What is
clouds,
that?
normal clouds. Our friend there was lucky to see some beautiful clouds there. What do you think was strange?
And it was a group of tall African Zulu looking people, and they developed far beyond. They were the first ones to travel from planet to planet, but the thing is, they never developed technology. They developed a spiritual shamanism type technology. They used crystals and other types of stones and even plants and stuff to focus their abilities. We talked earlier about how we've discovered that we're held together, our atoms and electrons, and they're all held together by many black holes. And those black holes are what hold us all together, and what pretty much holds everything in matter and reality together. And these beings learned how to collapse themselves into these little black holes and teleport through what we call the cosmic web, and teleport to other locations. So they were going to other planets, setting up commerce and trade without ever developing technology like a spaceship. And the reason they were never taken over by the reptilians, a very strong psychic group, a very negative group, is because they
You
had
have
developed
some
themselves
evidence, brother.
spiritually and psychically to a point to where the Draco would come in to their star system and they would cause confusion, mental confusion among the Draco, which is a major feat because they are a higher density group of beings that have very strong consciousness and abilities with telepathy. But they would overcome these groups, make them attack each other, many different methods like that. They were that was more of their method of warfare. But because of those abilities, they were never taken over. That was the only star in the local 52 star cluster.
And the 52 stars.
It's a
can you
mind
explain that
blowing
little bit
story.
and kinda-
Yeah.
And also,
But you
maybe
need
what
some
the height of
evidence
these,
also.
These particular beings were.
Yes, I'll describe them a little bit. Anywhere from 6.5 to 8 feet tall, and some have been described as taller, and look African. Their eyes are just a little bit bigger, and some of them have been described with caramel colored hair, but all of the ones that I had seen, it was short hair. And they were very tall and skinny. And they
You
interact
mean you saw them?
with a lot of shamans
Unbelievable.
here on our planet, or also spiritual types of people. They'll interact with, like, when someone's having a really hard time, they may have a weird dream to where this tall African-looking person and like feathers on the head, things around their wrists with long wispy grass, dancing these real wild dances to where like they're doing like this weird figure 8, and they're stomping of feet and clapping of hands, and all this really, but it's really a crazy dance. But something happens energetically, emotionally.
Now
They're
the
able to,
story has
someone
even
has
started
entity
sounding
attachments,
more
which is a
mythical.
situation I ran into. They're able to remove them by just doing this dance. They don't say a word, and
Maybe our friend here
they have the
visited this side
ability
of
to,
the world.
when people are having a hard time spiritually, emotionally, they're able to do that dance, and people wake up and they feel refreshed, and they're able to go about the mission that they were stumbling in.
I had heard before
Also,
about
what he just
a race
explained
of,
sounds like
black mantids.
things that people do from this side of the world. The
hybrids,
dance.
the brothers, they have a extra joint here and in the leg, and maybe their neck is slightly different and have the triangles, and that they actually, their way of saying hello upon first meeting them is some type of a fluid dance that is very hard for humans to mimic. And that's just, I wonder if there's a connection there.
I don't know. I don't know. That's interesting. But the fact, I don't know if anyone in your audience
is
has
the
had
other
a dream
friend
like
not
this,
talking?
But after I started talking about this publicly, which I've been talking about it for a couple of years now, it just really hasn't gotten out there. Because I don't think people, if you hear about a human type alien, people want to hear about a 8 foot tall, blue eye, blonde hair, and angel, kind of being, to go along with their belief system. That I think one of the biggest issues. I was shown that apparently there's going to be some sort of solar event that's going to cause the downfall of technological civilization, and after that occurs, they call themselves our cosmic cousins. All of these different ETs, including the African-looking race I told you about, they are all going to fill the skies and come and assist us. I mean, how shocking is it going to be for everyone when they're standing there, the door's open, they're about to drop these little food with parachutes, and they look up and they don't see a blonde-haired, blue-eyed angel. They see a bunch of people of different, brown skin, different skin,
Hey, this is a mind-blowing story.
I mean, they're not going to be prepared for that.
Yeah. Well, that's fascinating.
It sounds just like a story. All for entertainment purposes.
There is
my
so
friends.
much more border
Wow, that
security
one.
right now. I'm on the U.S.-Mexico border right here, and they have added this barbed wire to the other side. So right down here, we're in Mexico. That's the ocean right there. This is the big wall separating the U.S. and Mexico. And they put in all of this barbed wire. This was
Why
not
do
here
people
last
put
time.
us
You
to
can
the
see
back?
it goes all the way
Humans.
down,
This is
all
strange.
the way down this way.
These are
It's like rusty, super nasty. And
These
that
are humans
new.
protecting
This was
themselves
not here
against
last year,
other
and this is
humans
really
that
hard to
they
cross.
don't interact
So, like, you can
because
see,
they believe they're
I
not
can't
same
fit my
people.
head through here.
This
Nobody
is
can really like
unbelievable.
get through. My shoulder can't get through here. It would be very difficult. And then they've got these kind of like things up here. You couldn't get over to the other side, but there actually is kind of a way. If it's low tide, there's something you can do. So this goes out into the sea. I'm gonna come right over here and show you. It goes out into the sea, and you see this is playas in Tijuana. This is like a nice kind of beach area, people hanging out. But that is where it
This is
ends.
sad, my friends. Look,
And
there
this
is
is
a
low
wall.
tide, but it can get lower tide actually.
And it's not that these are the
I'm sure if you
that
can swim a little
there is
bit,
other superior
even if you
humans
can't,
than others.
It probably can't go up
This
to
is
much more than
who
your waist.
created this
You can
division?
easily
We
cross
should all
around right
love
there
one
and
another.
get to the other side.
Unite.
But they have made it so much more difficult adding in all that barbed wire. I don't know who would be crossing this, you know, literally over because it's so difficult right now. But now there's barbed wire on the other
Do you
side. They're
think
just like
this
adding
thing
on to
is
it,
a
getting
good
real
idea,
serious.
child of God? You see? We are all one people. Love your neighbor the way you love yourself.
Anybody ever
Be
wonder
kind.
where turtles go in the winter? I found this today. I think it's
I've
pretty
never
cool.
seen one,
Share
so
it.
I've never wondered myself. That is a good question. Where is he here now, brother? Is this somewhere where... Is it safe walking? This is water that has been turned to ice. Those guys are down there. Wow, 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 wow. Or am I seeing my own things? This is the house of glass. Wow. Look, that creature of God is unbelievable. It's just there, chilling, not moving. Wow, 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 children of God. These things are all made unique
There
and
are
wonderful.
42
Just like,
million people
human
in this
beings.
country that need food stamps on a weekly basis. And we're saying people deliberately
What is
instead of
that now?
Americans,
Food stamp.
because most of the people that are on food stamps aren't even from this country. 45% of Afghanistan immigrants are on food stamps. 42% of Somali immigrants. 34% of
stamps?
every immigrant from Iraq. 23% of Haitians. 59% of all illegal aliens are collecting food stamps. Meaning that most of the people getting food stamps from the U.S. government and the U.S. taxpayer are not even Americans. Think about that. And we didn't know about any of this before the government shutdown started. But thanks to Democrats, we can confirm tonight that millions of Joe Biden illegal aliens, people who crossed the border when Joe was president, are now collecting food stamps from a program funded by hardworking American
human
taxpayers.
beings because they are not from there. Ah, children of God, all this division is not good. We should all love one another.
I think it was fake.
Kim, let's talk through it.
There's no gravity on the moon.
Yes, there is. There's just less gravity than Earth. That's why the astronauts didn't float away.
Why is the flag blowing?
It's not. There's no wind on the moon. Let's take a look right here. That's a bar. It's actually holding up the flag to overcome the lack of wind. And sometimes that didn't work. Here's the flag on Apollo 12 that wouldn't stay up because it had a failed latch mechanism. But these are nylon flags, which have been folded up and stored for a very long time, which is why they're wrinkly. To put the flag into the lunar soil, Neil Armstrong had to spin it, right? Imagine putting a stake into the ground. You'd have to spin it to dig it in. So the flag starts swinging, but does it stop swinging?
I just think
No,
this story
not right away,
is
because an
stories
object in
and
motion will
it's
stay in
unbelievable
motion
if
until
it
it's acted
happened,
upon
but
by something like air. But the moon doesn't really have an atmosphere, so there aren't many particles right here to slow down the swinging of the flag. So it doesn't swing like it would on Earth, where there's air, but it did, thankfully, stop swinging eventually because there are some particles that close to the moon.
Shoes that they have in the museum that they wore on the moon is a different print in the photos.
Here's the spacesuit that they wore on the moon, and here is the boot, and that doesn't match this boot print. But wait, What's that? They're boot covers, lunar overshoes that they wore on the moon for warmth and protection. These are also on display in the Smithsonian Air and Space Museum, and they are in every photo of astronauts on the moon.
Why are there no stars?
They saw stars sometimes and not other times. When they orbited on the far side of the moon and the moon blocked the sun, they saw a lot of stars. And the transcript is consistent with that. But it was daytime when they landed. They landed facing the sun, which is why it's so bright in all of the photos. But if they stood in the shade of their lunar lander and let their eyes adjust, then they could see some stars. This was taken from an ultraviolet camera standing in the shade of the lunar lander and pointed up. But the lunar surface is also very bright, so capturing the brightness of the lunar surface and faint stars in the background isn't really possible with like one exposure. Here's what would happen. Here's the overexposed Earth with some stars in the background from the moon.
A million interviews with both Buzz Aldrin and the other one.
Do it.
And this girl says, what was the scariest moment? And he goes, there was no scary moment because it didn't happen. It could have been scary, but it wasn't because it didn't happen.
So that is a cropped video, but I will show you the whole thing.
What was the scariest moment of the journey?
Scariest? It didn't happen. It could have been scary. Circuit breaker.
Circuit breaker. And then he goes into a 6-minute, very long story about how when they were on the moon, he found a circuit breaker that wasn't attached where it was supposed to be. And if they didn't reattach it right, they wouldn't have been able to get off the moon. So he's talking about how they mitigated this almost very scary incident. There's the whole video. You can see it. I fast forwarded it. It's 6 minutes long. It would have been scary to be stuck on the moon, but it wasn't scary because it didn't happen. Could he have worded it better? Yeah.
Like, go to TikTok, see for yourself.
I agree you should go to TikTok, but I think you should go to my debunking playlist instead.
Okay, my friends, this good vibes shows explained like the story happened.
A man had just unboxed his new set and turned it on when something unusual appeared. With the screen still black, a face in headphones showed up in the bottom corner.
See, they don't think a nigga see them, dog. You don't supposed to be able to see they ass, but bro, I don't know what the fuck.
Like a webcam stream beaming into his living room. Folks online quickly speculated the TV had been hacked, possibly used to spy on him. Others worried it hinted at a much larger breach involving smart devices. While some dismissed it as a glitch, many couldn't shake the chilling thought. What if the TV was watching him back?
Wow, that's mind-blowing, my friends.
Have you ever wondered what a plasma cutter will do to a glass? Let's find out. I guess it cuts straight through it.
Wow! Wow. The technology in English is on another level.
How you make a mirror? Well, today we're going to find out. First off, we have to know what a mirror is. By definition, a mirror is a reflective surface that reflects light, creating an image. And the way you make a typical mirror, like you would see in your bathroom or something like that, is by taking a piece of glass and applying a thin layer of metal on it. Now, this glass is technically a mirror because it does reflect light, creating an image. You can kind of see it, but it's not very effective.
Yeah.
And so to make a mirror that's much more effective, you have to apply a thin layer of metal on the glass in order to get that really nice reflective effect. Now, there's two ways we can apply this metal coating. The first way is a physical vapor deposition using a big chamber like that, but we're not going to use that machine because today we're going to chemically apply silver on the glass, and that's going to give us our mirror, which is the same method that they use to make mirrors like this that you see normally in your bathroom. First thing we have to do is make sure the glass is nice and clean. With everything nice and clean, now we have to apply a layer of tin. The tin is very important because this is what's going to react with the silver, and it's going to help it stick on the glass. I have some mixed up right here. Now we're going to apply it to the glass and let it coat the entire surface. Let that sit for about 30 seconds. Now we're going to rinse it off with some water. And now we're going to add the silver. We're going to pour the silver solution into these little paper cups. We're going to mix them all together like this. And now we're going to pour it on the glass and hope that this works. Should start to see it change. You can see it starting to darken a little bit.
Wow, this is incredible. I didn't know there's silver on
Looking pretty good so
mirrors.
far. Let's go ahead and rinse it off real quick. And that's how you make a mirror. Now, I have a lot of artworks planned that are going to use this technique. So, of course, if you want to see
this
that,
is a good guy. My friends, how is that incredible? Very unbelievable, my friends. But there's also other types of mirrors. If you know, you can tell us in the comments.
What's left inside the machine after
this is the genius from English Lads. Look at what this guy built.
Now, I did this interesting experiment where I left the blades spinning all night long, and I see something super interesting. Look.
This guy built this thing. Wow. Respect.
You see down there?
Wow.
Those are balls of carbon. What in the world? I'm gonna see if I can get them to come forward. But there are legit big balls of carbon back there.
Hey, brother, this is incredible.
And just for reference, this stuff here, you see it's like a powder. And this is carbon. Like, this is not plastic.
And did you put it there or it formed itself?
So all this can be used for anything. Look, there's aluminum. You know, some plastic has aluminum in it. Like a Capri Sun has aluminum inside chip bags. All that's recovered. Some stuff hold their form. Like this was a glove. You see? This was a glove I threw in there, but then watch. When it gets carbonized, it just crumbles apart, right? Oh, this one still has some oil. So we'll throw that back in there. But I usually just keep this carbon in this bucket here. But yeah, those carbon balls are super interesting. I told you guys I have three balls. I have 3 black balls, and you saw my 3 black balls back there.
Hey.
Okay, but they are stuck back there. I can't get them to roll forward. You see them? Yeah, that's so interesting. Like it legit is 3 big black balls.
Ah, it's interesting.
Yes, my mistake. I just had the blades on reverse. Whoa, whoa. Oh, that's heavy. That's heavy. Look at that. That is dense.
Hey.
Hey. Wait a minute. This is a souvenir. Dude.
What?
I can't even describe what it's like to hold this because you think it's going to be like, this is heavy. This is like a rock. Whoa. And then you see like the metal, the copper. Listen to this. Listen, right? And you want to know the funniest part? I have been telling my haters and enemies for years. Please understand before you do your actions that I am a man with 4 radioactive big black balls.
We are happy for you.
These big black balls and are so desperate to go home. You just happen to have an open and running mouth.
This is incredible.
A plus B equals C, the Pythagorean theorem. This is not, you have a vacant space perfect for accommodation, not Airbnb, Airbnb, air big black balls in your mouth. I've been telling them, my enemies, you were going to have to know how they taste when you lick them, and they don't listen, and now we're going to have to make an example.
This brother here, man, respect.
So people know I do not bluff when I say I have big black balls.
Very true, very good vibes, fella. That one, my friends. You must are wonderful. You must are incredible, my friend. Across the whole world. That's why we should all unite, love one another, and be kind. Child of God, thank you very much for your time. God bless you, my friend, for sticking up to this far. Lots of love and respect. Let's share, my friend, message from the Book of Wisdom before we end the show. Today, we shall hear what it says from the book of Psalms, chapter 46, verse 10. It says, "Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth." Wonderful, my friends. Let's give thanks and let's close the show. Father, Lord, thank you for the good time you gave us together with your precious child, today's viewer. Thank you for your love, Father. Thank you for the many blessings you've passed to their lives, Father. Uplift their souls, give them strength from where they are, Father, and may your love reach them, dear Lord, Father. Thank you for everything. We give thanks. In your holy name, Jesus Christ, we do pray, trusting and believing. Amen. Child of God, till next time, have some good time. I have been your host and friend, Y311H. Bye-bye. Peace.